As a father, I speak. When I go out there and hunt, as a father I hunt. It don't matter whether my kid's in their 20s, right? Don't matter. I played that live earlier of Laura Cooper's, which was deleted. But some heroes, screen recorded it, noted her threats, her foul language, and her really foul language. And I didn't realise this until somebody just told me that just now. This is what I mean. Right? Because honestly, I don't know how many kids he got, but I've just been informed that you're talking like that, yet you've got an 8-year-old kid in that house, and it's the C word this and F that and S this and F that. Emma, my darling, how are you? I must pop over to Wales and see you all. I must pop over. And I miss Lisa. I miss her. I miss your cousin, darling. She is one of a kind. She was a diamond. A rough one, but she was a diamond. And it was an honour for me to carry her coffin into that church. It truly was. To help put your our sister to rest. Hi Denise. You see, did I swear around my daughter? Yeah. Did I do it that excessively? No. Did I allow her to swear when she was a teenager? Yeah. Why? Because if I sort of like say, no, that's taboo, you can't say that, that's naughty, yeah, it's like, no, it's a word, right? As long as you don't overuse it, darling, you're fine, so if you bang your thumb, go fuck it. Yeah, I'll understand. Yeah? Just don't worry about it. Teenage years. Yeah, they know, I mean, you know what they're like at school. It's fuck this and fuck that and this and that and that and this and yeah. Because psychologically, that's the first sort of like stages of rebellion. You start using naughty words. And in the days of dictionaries, as kids, yeah, we'd be looking up the rude words. Of course you would, yeah. That was just something that everybody sort of talked about, and I don't know why. you're about 8 or 9 and you're talking about, oh, look at the dictionary, it's got this in oh, it's in school too. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, still got the word fuck in it though. You know what I mean? Then you'd have the avid, like my mate Steve. You know what I mean? That actually read the dictionary. Looking for the rude words. That fucker was thorough. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But imagine you're an 8-year-old and your mother acts like that on the internet, eh? Imagine that. I do feel sorry for 18-year-olds, and I'm really sorry you've been dragged into this somehow. I don't know how the fuck you have been, yeah, but I want to assure her son that I ain't got, I ain't gonna, just be happy, get a girlfriend, go out, have a party, be a lad, have fun, enjoy your life. That's all I've got to say to her son. Because I'm no threat to you, sunshine, alright? Absolutely none. And to even conceive the fact that I might be is ludicrous, stupid and wrong. And to you, sir, I wouldn't harm a hair on your head. Just to make that clear to everybody. Go out, enjoy your life, forget this shit, your mum's in the wrong. That's all I've got to say about it, alright? I haven't gone into your profile, I haven't stolen your pictures, I wouldn't steal your pictures, I wouldn't do to you what your mother and her associates have done to other people. And I'm ever so sorry to break this to you, son, and I know you're an adult now of 18, but, you know, even though you're an adult of 18, do you think I'm going to start on you? Nah, you're still a kid. Even although you think you're growing up. So did I, so did we all. Don't worry about it, it's just one of those things. Alright? Just one of those things. And then you think you're an adult at 25, but you're not. And then you think you're an adult at 35, but you're not. But the more you go on, the more you age, the more you learn. The more you realise. And that journey's ahead of you. Embrace it. And for Christ's sakes, have fun. Do what you want to do in life. And try not to get dragged down into negativity. That's my best advice to you, sir. So I desperately tried to avoid it myself. I was a quiet decoy getting on with things, and then they added me to the torture chamber. You know, I realised what was going on. I realised other people's children were being targeted. I'd like to assure you that we're not like that, and you're going to get left alone, because we wouldn't do that. We just seriously wouldn't do that, any of us. Alright, sunshine, so just, yeah, relax. because that is the furthest purpose from our minds. Our minds are set on justice for what this group have been doing, and we really would like it to stop. I'd really like for these people to live in peace and tranquility without you and your poisonous, not you, I'm not talking to Lawkeeper's son now, I'm talking to the rest of the group. The attacks that you've been advancing on individuals for over 3 years, false reports of people being paedophiles, including myself twice, or don't have a right to speak out about what you've done to me. Sorry, no. I've got every right to speak out about what you've tried to do to me. Every right in the world. You're disgusting. No, I mean, I've handed in testing decoy tracks to the police, right? Really testing ones. But on the scale of severity, on the scale of severity, those decoy logs are child's play. The ones I've got people convicted of, right, and about to get convicted of, are child's play compared to that torture chamber 2. I've never seen anything so disgusting or terrible in my entire life. And that's saying something. I've walked through slums in Mumbai. That Slumdog Millionaire wasn't entirely fiction, but there's no way a Dalit, which was his social status, would ever get to appear on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because of his social status. The Dalit class are the untouchable class, and they're the ones that live in slums. They're the ones that go out and clean people's cesspits out by hand. And get paid a pittance for it. The men get paid, this was in 2005, 2006, for digging the roads, 100 rupees a day, which equated to about £1.25 for a man. A woman got paid half of that, 50 rupees a day. And guess what? Guess who was doing the heavy work? Wasn't the men. So I've seen sick things. I've experienced sick things. I once saw a dog that had probably been hit by a car with a gaping open wound from its sort of like lower midriff to its sort of like right down his leg. And all I could see in his wound were maggots. Did anybody care? Nobody cared. Was there any rescue for that dog? No. Why? She's shy of humans. Strays, you see, strays. Strays you can't help. People dying in the street right in front of you. People just walk past. It's amazing. But that's how India is. If a Dalit's dying on the street, it was meant to be, so people just let them die. Can't do anything anyway. Plagued by beggars. Some were in such a pitiful state. On my way to a cricket match at the Wankhede Stadium, yeah, it is actually spelled Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Gupta and I got a taxi. Gupta had never seen India play. He was a low caste restaurant manager, actually, just a worker. Could never afford to go in and watch India play and watch his hero Tendulkar. But I needed a guide. And I said, right, I'll pay Gupta's wages for the week. Yeah, this is only 700 rupees. It's like, fucking hell, easy bonus. Yeah, it's like going to Mumbai, could do with a guide, Gupta's my man, and I want to take him to go and watch his heroes play cricket. And I did. The man will never be able to afford to do it again. Or stay in the hotels that we stayed in. Double room, of course. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? 2 single beds, you know what I mean? But the man's like a brother to me, like, you know. Got us a good hotel. But on my way to the Wankhede Stadium, there's lots of mafia beggars that go about, and if anybody's in debt to them, then they've got to beg for them. And there was this one individual that come begging up to the taxi window. I kid you not. Yeah, honestly, I love Pete to bits. All right, I just want to make I want to make that fucking clear, right? Now, he put his hands out to the taxi, sort of like as a begging gesture like that, all right? And I looked, and on both hands, all of his fingers had been cut, and including his thumb, had been cut off at the knuckle, at that knuckle there, just there, all right? And the stumps were still fresh. And you say you have got a hard life, eh? And you think a lockdown's serious. Shit, man. You ain't seen fuck all. So I do have humanity, you know? I ain't gonna start picking on any 18-year-old kid, are you joking? I'm rather disappointed in the person that sent me his profile. There would have been better ways to tell me without doing that. But again, be rest assured that I'm not going to pick on the lad because he's your son. Yeah, because that would be disgusting. And my grudge ain't against him, Cooper. After what you've done to me, my grudge is against you. His son's got fuck all to do with it. I'd also like to note, please don't come to my house. This morning. Again, I'm begging everybody to stay away. You will not like what you're met with. So I implore you not to come. All of you. Please. Please, I'm begging you. I don't want to hurt any of you. I really. So please. My dog isn't going to get involved either. It's like, as if I'm going to set the dog on you, which I could, but I won't. I won't put his life at risk. He's too precious to me. I'd go out there and take the fucking lot of you out. I'm telling you that. I promise you that. I hope you heed this warning. I do hope you heed this warning. Because the last thing I want to be charged for is attempted murder. That's the truth. Alright? So please, don't come. Because that's not what I'm about. All I do know about myself is I can go out and sting by myself. It doesn't scare me. Don't scare me. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. I mean, not until sort of about, there's this slight thing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, which is like, it's about a 0.3 second. Yeah, thought. It's like, yeah, you're doing it, aren't you? It's like, yeah, you are. There's that part of me, which is so determined that you don't know determination like mine. I wish I could bottle and sell it. I really do. It's what made me successful in the sales field. That and that alone, I would never have been able to achieve what I achieved without clean purity. And I remember how focused I used to be. How good I was. I mean, the figures just, they're blindingly good. They're just sort of like, my sales figures should go into the sainthood category, you know? It's like, oh, there should be angels singing before you announce that cunt. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, did you actually do that? It's like, yeah. Why do you think I travelled so well and so often and so far and for so long at points? It wasn't because I was sat on my ass doing nothing. It's because I was working like a fucking moron. commanding divisions of canvases. It's like, you try that. You try, right, controlling 16 to 20 people, right, on your area and making sure that every single one of these bastards are knocking doors. That's a feat and a half. That ain't easy. When you get to know the personalities, and when you're absolutely sure they're going to be skiving, even although you've been fair all day, like having a game of 10-pin bowling or whatever shit I used to get up to. Yeah. But still skiving, and I suspected it, of course, you know what I mean? I still rip off, take 10 minutes out, fucking go get out the pub, run back, get back onto my doors, you know? Only because I knew them. It's like, it's, you know, it's like Sanchez, are you psychic? It's like, no. It's like, yeah, sort of. I know exactly what you bastards are thinking. You know what I mean? I know what you get up to. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it. So I've done the same thing myself, like, so, you know, I know what you're doing. And it's only my experience that led me to, yeah, get to know them like that. But they loved me for it because I didn't, you know, on harsh. It's like, fucking get out. I'm out there. You get out there. I'm getting wet. You get wet. You know what I mean? And there was this one time I was in Liverpool. I knew they were fucking skiving. I just knew it. So I'm just like, right, okie doke, then let's just take it. Right, there's a fucking pub there, isn't there? I said, I bet you were there. I got up thought thinking that they're in there. This one particular team, right? I said, yeah, I said, you know, they've dived into that because that's pretty shit, yeah. And even although I fucking waylaid them for as long as I could, I said, you know, these bastards are skiving in there. And fair play to the team leader, he did have a Coke. You know what I mean? He was drinking non-alcoholic, and yeah, because he'd have got a fucking raking off of me for that. Actually, I would have given him a fucking verbal warning. Or a written warning, actually. You know, that's a written warning. If he'd been drinking. That's immediate. And pending an investigation, it's probably a sackable offence. But then I'd have to put that upstairs. You know what I mean? That's only to protect the company that I was working for, obviously. Yeah, if he'd been drinking, then he'd have got sacked. But the rest of them were, and that's alright. Yeah, had fresh mints and chewing gum and shit like that. It's like, but I waited outside the pub and I was looking through I was sort of just, yeah, a weird angle, and I just waited until they got another pint. I went, oh you, I said, get out of that fucking pub. We're not in the pub. I said, don't fucking lie to me. I said, I'm stood right outside. I said, I've just watched you order another pint. And they go, yeah, but this is our first one. I said, I said, I've been watching you for 10 minutes, you bunch of cunts. I said, you're getting out now. I said, fuck your pints off. But I did actually make sure that they bought another round. Yeah, before I pulled them out and sent them out again. And I made sure the landlord tipped them away. I said, don't serve them until at least fucking 8 o'clock tonight, alright? Yeah, fine. I said, they're at work. And that's it. Dealt with. Didn't tell the boss. Yeah. Never told the managing directors what they were doing. Didn't grass them up. Chewed their ears a bit. Yeah, made sure they got out onto their doors alright, and then I went back to knocking myself. Done. See, that's how you internally solve things. But you wouldn't have the intelligence to be able to fucking rack up that plan, would you? Not any of that lot, anyway. Fucking hell. You know, they were stinging in Bridgewater one day. Is that guy that had the dog lick his, bits. He's doing it on video to the decoy. Bridgewater is a weird place. Trust me, I was born there. I know every inch of it. And they were stinging in Bridgewater, in Bower. And Bower Manor, it's right on the edge of the town, it's near the hospital. And I freaked Bozza out. I go, yeah, I'll go right. I said, yeah, you're less than half a mile from, the hospital in Bridgewater, you're on Bower Manor, I freaked him out. He thought I had tracking equipment on it. It's like, nah, I know it. I survivors and so receptors too. Is it to Colonel Wincanton? One of the two. Hermitage Road. That's why I call this place a Hermitage. Hermitage to take the piss, because it would have taken me half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to get. Yeah, so this is why I call this place a Hermitage. Hermitage Street, Hermitage Road, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I knew where they were, and throughout the entire life, it was just at this bloke's doorstep. But all they did, it took about 5 to 10 seconds of them panning up the street and then going back to the doorstep. Oh, fuck, I know where you are. That's a skill set I've got. I was like, fuck it, yeah, you inherited. Boom. I know Leicester like the back of my hand. I know Bournemouth. I know Southampton like the back of my fucking hand. I know it better than anybody that lives in Bournemouth themselves. And Southampton. Leicester. Ipswich. Norwich. Hull. Liverpool. Aberdeen. Swansea, Newport. And all these cities, they're surrounding satellite towns and villages. Mapped in. Hull. Norwich and Ipswich. Colchester. Reading, Oxford. Swindon. Stoke. That confuses the fuck out of me. That is just a blank patch, and that doesn't make sense. That layout does not make any fucking sense to me at all. Even the even when, because the company gave me a sat nav and I never used it. It's like, I got it. But when I hit Stoke, it's like, hang on. What's going on? And even that bastard thing didn't help. On the A500, whoops, the A50 A500, on a notorious black spot on the M6, that curve and that on that junction is massively dangerous, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to why. I suppose it's its curve and its dip, I suppose, and the hidden and the junction's actually on a curve, and perhaps that's why. Liverpool, extremely well. Wallasey, the other side of the river as well. Wrexham, no, Wrexham's quite pretty actually. Cheltenham, Gloucester, surrounding satellites. And all of these are surrounding satellites too, the hamlets, villages and towns that satellite these cities, sometimes on 20-30 miles outside the range of the main city. Never knocked for the Wigan Advertiser, which I find quite strange, because when canvassers go to heaven, our heaven is apparently at Wigan Pier. I've never been there. I think it's a Wigan Advertiser up there, if my memory serves me correctly. I might be wrong. I know it's covered by the Manchester Evening News, or the Manchester News as it would be called now. I've never knocked Manchester. Never knocked Leeds. Exeter, satellites. Like Torquay, Torbay, the south coast, yeah, in and around the Exmouth. Plymouth and Saltash. I wish I'd got up to Inverness, but I had to sack a manager. He was a lazy, no good. He expected his team to go out and do the work for him, which is bollocks. I won't have that. I want team leaders that set examples, that get out there with their team, not some lazy ass git. So yeah, I had to appoint another manager and I had to stay in Aberdeen, which is a beautiful city. Union Street's wonderful, vibrant, happy. And the granite buildings, when you approach it and it's a sunny day, they glitter. It's like a shiny city. Montrose, Forres, Stonehaven. What's the two up there? Peterhead and Fraserburgh. Then we went down to Angus. That was Montrose, yeah, that's right. That's when we went down into Angus and I warned the circulation manager that they'd all blow out and that we can't be held responsible for blowouts for sending us that far away. So I did warn him and they did blow out and we still got paid because I warned him. Phew. I've always wanted to do Edinburgh and I've always wanted to do Dundee. Dundee's apparently quite a good little patch. I had a chance to go over to Ireland, but the fact in Ireland is that apparently they sell papers at traffic lights. I don't know how true this is, but there's this weird system in Ireland how they get their newspapers, and it wasn't particularly viable for us to be sending planes over there. No, I didn't want that. I didn't want that gig. I really didn't want that gig. To be fair, to be sure. I didn't want that gig at all. So I didn't take it, which is fair enough, isn't it? And it didn't work, so I was right not to take it. I don't think anybody could knock a door in Northern Ireland. I don't know, but I personally wouldn't, you know. I'm brave enough to knock on the nonce's door on Christmas Day with his entire family inside, but I don't think I could sell the local newspaper in Belfast. My ass would be dropping out at every fucking step. It's like, fuck, you know. Are you bloody or Catholic? Or something like that, you know. It's like, what's going on there? What is going on there? And please, I do hope that they live in peace. The Northern Ireland question is resolved forever and ever and the violence bloody stops. But who knows? But my original point on how can she behave like that when there's an 8-year-old in the house is quite a cogent. Unfair question to ask. How fair is it on that 8-year-old, eh? Like I said, I've not phoned social services or anything like that, but hopefully the police are going to be aware of her actions within the torture chamber and realise that she was complicit of this long before any of her children were supposedly or allegedly exposed in there. And if they were exposed in there, and she hadn't gone to the police about their disgusting chat, then you've got to wonder, haven't you? You know, why was it my immediate response to go to the police? Why was you got to start asking yourself that type of question too? Why was my first and only response of actually being able to find out what was in there, the first response I had when I absolutely knew what I was going on about was to call the fucking police. And you call me insane, you call me the mad one, they do call me the mad one, you know? half of it is because my management style is so far batshit out there. Yeah. I was the craziest bastard in the crew. I'd be doing David Bellamy impressions and eating live woodlace just to get a laugh. That's why they called me the Mad Mexican. It wasn't, yeah, I mean, they've seen me turn and they've seen me get fucking, yeah, Andy. Yeah, that's another thing. But they also knew that I loved them. I loved them all. The cheeky bastards. They'd test me, they'd try and pull a few things, but actually, I already had their number. Instead of grassing them up to the MD, I just give them a little slap on the wrist, tell them how good they are and send them back out. And that's the difference between you and I. The power of being able to do this hasn't actually got to my head. You know, and then it's like, is it particularly clever to be able to sting a paedophile? Well, it's alright. I mean, it ain't, you know, it ain't the be all and end all, is it? I mean, just being able to do it is enough for me. And in actual reality, that's all I really want to get on with. But unfortunately, you bunch of dickheads decided to just stick your oar in and try to troll me. Oops. 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 I'd like to challenge you. Right? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Whenever have I posted another person's kid up? Whenever have I trolled anybody's kid? Whenever have I made a sick chat group up to make photographs ridiculing other people's children? When have I threatened to come to your door? When have I ever called the police on you with bullshit allegations? When have I ever publicly posted you up as paedophiles? And last but not least, whenever have I posted up or threatened to go after any of your children? Hey? Come on, answers. Answers, I want fucking answers. Whenever have I done any shit like that? Come on, I'm having a piss. that time would have been reduced by about 25% to 30% in my 20s, wouldn't it? Yes. Yes, alright, baby boy. Let me take your collar off a moment. Let me get your neck free. Alright. There's a good boy. We'll go out into the garden soon, alright? And we'll go up the hilly thing later. Okay, so you know you love the hilly thing, don't you? You love the hilly... You love the hilly thing, don't you? Give him daddy kisses. Give him daddy kisses, are you? Hey? Give him daddy kisses. And loves, are you? You're my best baby boy. Would you like a... Let's go and get him a yum yums a minute. Go and get him a chew. You haven't had your first chew. You always have 2 teaspoons a day. Right, okay, then sit down. Sit. Good boy. There you go. Nicely, gently. Good boy. There's a good boy. That's a nice lad. They've unfairly targeted even him. These bastards are so sick they've even tried to come after my dog. I mean, when you think about the pettiness, in truth, of enacting such a thing. Oh, you know what? We'll go and waste some charities time instead, shall we? Because the police haven't arrested him. Let's try the RSPCA and see if we can get his dog taken away. Come in, inspected my property, inspected the dog, said, yeah, he's a fucking fine specimen, well done, he's a fucking credit to you. Yeah, I said, yeah, these are trolls, yeah, over my doorstep again. Yeah, simple transaction, boom. So you Leverland, you poisonous dart, F off. Being lectured by the warthog. Jesus wept. Whatever next? I mean, Christ, sometime soon, right, I might be sort of like, yeah, from the National Guild of the Mad, yeah, because that's how much sense that these fuckers are making. Like I said, how can Cooper talk like that over the internet, shouting, screaming expletives when she's got an 8-year-old kid in the house? If you heard the recording that I played earlier, yeah, and then you think, right, actually, there's an 8-year-old in there. What type of example do you think that sets to a kid? I mean, not only her behaviour, it was actually what she was threatening at the time. And then you wonder why I'm concerned. Truly concerned. This isn't no bullshit concerned. I'm truly fucking worried. This ain't normal. None of this is normal. None of it. And to justify and to normalise it is just beyond comprehension. It's beyond my comprehension. And I can't quite understand these idiots that actually go up and follow. Oh yeah, look, yeah, they've been starting on our kids for 3 years. No, they fucking haven't. That is a misnomer. That is a complete and utter lie. None of these people have ever posted anything about their kids. But it's a convenient mistruth that they want to feed you, yeah, because they want you to believe them. You know? Convenient mistruths, omissions. They'll report you to the police for a section of what you said. Yeah, get you pulled in and questioned for that section without the precursor of what you said before. I mean, 8 fucking police visits. Are you mad? Do you think I'm going to sit here after your abuse and sit down and say nothing and not fucking fight you tooth and nail to the death? My God, I will. But, I mean, you've got to examine that behaviour right there, where she's behaving like that when there's an 8-year-old in her house. Using the C word, F words, S words, yeah? Slut, cunt, fuck, this, yeah? Then you've got to start wondering whether that's an healthy environment for an 8-year-old to grow up in. Because, my God, I'd never exhibit that type of behaviour in front of my daughter, even although she's 26. This year, this month. Just so you know. That's about as much information that you're ever going to get about her. You'll never find her. And if you do, the changes. Trust me. This whole fucking motherboard gets wiped out and I'm going to say, play with this motherfucker. She won't be able to play it. Trust me, you will not be able to play that. There's no defence. Luckily, you bunch of reprobates, I'm doing this legally. People that know me know that you are lucky, but you don't. And that is one horrific mistake. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to come to my door, like I said. That's the last thing I want. I wouldn't come to your doors because I'd lose every aspect of this position of mine that you're, and I wouldn't come around and try and bully you at your own doorstep. And I'm telling you something now. I will bully you at my own doorstep if you insist on trying. I'll do more than bully you. I'll hurt you. And that's why I don't want this to occur. I don't want it. I seriously don't want it. I hope you're not this stupid. But to be a part of a group that paedophile twice, thinking you're coming up and fucking knocking on my door, right? It, not only that, threatened to fucking hunt down my daughter and have fucking words with her. 3 of you have made threats against me, one of which have included a machete. And you think you're walking away from that path? You think you're walking away? Not on your life are you walking away. I am sticking an advisory here. I've told the police this too. Do not come. Please, do not come to my door. I'm begging you, do not come to my door. I don't think I can say anything else, bar that, really, you know? Something's going on. Yeah. I don't know what's going on here. Something weird. Oh, for God's sake. Never mind. Please don't come to my door. I am asking you nicely. Amelia, I don't know of an Amelia, but I can tell you something now, Sony. Yeah, that Joanne hasn't got anything to do with this. Yeah, this is all well, what I would call is chaff. Yeah, they're just throwing out bullshit and expecting people to believe it. But I can fundamentally tell you that confident that I can swear on my father's eternal soul that Joe was not the person that sent me that. My father's dead and I love him and I've never. It certainly wasn't Joe that sent that profile to me. But it's in the hands of the police, alright? because my gut instinct that isn't right, you know. Why would I want to know who Laura Cooper's son is? I don't. I mean, I seriously don't. You know? I don't want to be a party to people who think it's alright to actually, you know, I mean, if they told me, I know why they did it. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to forgive this person. Yeah, this once. They just thought that they were looking out for me, saying I might get trolled from this profile, which is fine, like, you know, it's like that is explainable, and I've explained to this, but well, I haven't explained to this person personally, I haven't messaged them or anything, I've just given them a bollocking. It's like, you don't do that. You don't ever send profiles of other people's kids to me. Yeah, it's like, it's not right. You know, even if they are 18, it still ain't fucking right, is it? Of course it ain't. I mean, why should we even get involved in beginning a discussion on such a vile act? Because that's exactly what it is. Picking on other people's kids. I mean, yeah, okay. You know, they've tried to pick on mine. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to go and pick on other people's kids. Does it? Or does it? Dependent on how your mind works. But that is certainly not the way that mine works, and there's absolutely no way that that kid's in any danger from me, and he's never going to get trolled by me, and oh my god, I ain't going to look at his profile or even send him the fucking message. I just want him to have a happy life, relax, get a girlfriend, go out, yeah, have fun, get pissed with your mates, go in, honestly, just go out and do that, son. And don't get involved in this bullshit. So I seriously don't have anything against you, alright? And I'm nothing to be feared unless you evoke me. I don't go out looking for fights. I go out looking for stings, and I try to perform them the best way that I possibly can, and I try and do it by myself. I was told for over 2 years that I was a shit decoy and I couldn't sting. Getting convictions all the way though. Try and be quiet. Not crowing about my achievements. I mean, shit. I caught one, I forgot their name. It's like, it don't matter. Their name don't matter. It's like, yeah. Gone. Just like these names will be when I've dismissed them. Gone. From consciousness. But like I said, I can't ever sting another paedophile without dealing with these people first. If I did, I'd be the biggest hypocrite alive. And I will sting again, and I'll sting alone again. I'll also target in and around Wigan, because I am going to go up and see Mr. Greenall. So I do love the lovely bully. Even although what he says is off colour, and I don't agree with some of the things he says, I mean, don't get me wrong. But then, I can understand why he says these things when they're ridiculing the rape of his 4-year-old child. So their actions and their behaviours have been the consequence of him firing back the way he does, and the way that I do, and the way that we all have been. We've had to. I mean, I don't know when these people will finally learn there's more to life than being a cunt. There's more to life than targeting other people's kids. And you heard Cooper yesterday, fucking, on that recording this morning that I played. And I'm gonna splash Mossup's kids all over the internet. Yeah? I'm gonna post them everywhere, demanding people send her the profile links to her son. I reported what happened on my live yesterday because it was the goddamn truth. I said, oh God, yeah, somebody's posted your son's profile on there. And I give them a bollocking. It's like, you don't do that. You know, what am I going to do with it? Nothing, actually. Nothing. It's like, you know, so why you even... If it was worded, so, right, if you get trolled by this profile, it's Laura Cooper's son. And if I was trolled by that profile and I knew it was Laura Cooper's son, then I wouldn't have responded to it. You know, so their intent, yeah, was to like warn me on guard that I wasn't about to start on an 18-year-old kid, which is sort of quite admirable, really, I think. That's why I know this person sent me his profile with no contempt or no ill will in their heart, apart from protect me from a potential troll. For that I can thank them, but please ask them not to do it again and word it rather than sending the profile. That would be great. It truly would be great if you could do that instead. Just be told by words. Don't be lazy. Tell me. I need it in written English. If that's possible. Because a link doesn't provide a statement. Your written English will. And then I'll get it. And I am quite disappointed that they did send me that profile like that. I'm very disappointed at that. But rest assured, we're not going to start plagiarising his photos and mocking him up and shit like that. Not like your compatriots have been doing, Cooper. We're not going to do anything at all. We're not going to attack him. We're not going to troll him. He's an 18-year-old kid that wants to go out and have fun and get on with his life, yeah? So let's agree that we'll allow him to carry on doing that. And leave the poor kid out of it. Because my problem stems from you and your cohorts. And even to think that I'd ever do anything with that profile of his Just shows you what type of mindset you have. Thinking, oh shit, we've done it to his daughter, perhaps he might do it to mine. It's like, no. No, 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 no. No way. The lad's done fuck all wrong. And for you to sort of like accuse me of having any other ill intent, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I chirped it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? So don't tell me that I don't have decency, so I do. The reason I have decency is the reason why I've got to tackle this poisonous chat group that you've been engaging in yourself. Alright? That's my only goal, really. Because you do need to be brought to account. I can promise you Joe Mossop wasn't the person that sent me that profile. I promise you, on my father's grave and his soul, his eternal soul, I promise you, that it was neither Pete Greenall or Joanne Mossop. And I don't gamble with my father's righteous place in heaven. I'd never pull him from there. I'll never make such an oath so lightly, because he was my fucking hero. The most honest man I've ever met. And he guided me into being me. The man that told me, it doesn't matter how much trouble you think you're in, always tell the truth. No matter what cost it is to you personally, always tell the fucking truth. And to his memory, that's how I act. I've got his vein of stubbornness too, believe it or not. I thought my dad was a difficult person to deal with, and his stubborn nature was quite inflexible, but he knew. He was decent. He was fair. His stubbornness was so fair that you'd actually forgive his stubbornness. Do I want to be like him? Yeah. Because don't we all want to be like our heroes? The man didn't lie, I never heard him swear. Stubborn as a mule. The most illegal thing that he ever did. He worked at Hinkley Point. And this was the days in the ZX Spectrum when he got an Amiga. What they would do is they made this club at Hinkley Point where they'd buy a copy each week of each game, and then what they would do is they'd record the copy and then they'd pass it out to the entire group. So yeah, you'd be getting a game a week, but you'd get a recording, you'd get a copy of it. And Daley Thompson's decathlon. My God, it took him about 7 hours. He was there from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're going, Dad, it's alright, mate, you know what I mean? We can play something else. He goes, no, we're going to get this done, And he was there with this fucking screwdriver, right, playing with the tape head thing, right, to make sure the bloody thing would load. And he did it, fair play to him, he fucking did it. But he's another one that wouldn't give up without the solution there in his hand. My father was a nuclear physicist. He'd be spying on asbestos particles. Yeah? Air qualities around Hinkley Point. Studying uranium through a fucking really thick pair of glass and gloves and fucking full kit on. Making sure it was good for disposal or use, dependent. Plutonium and uranium, he handled that. He used to go into the, obviously you know you have to sign the official Secrets Act to get into that fucking reactor. And know the workings of it. But that's my pedigree. I faltered in the line. My daughter's doing a PhD. Woohoo! So, you know, a physicist of a father, yeah, and a PhD, you know, she'll get it. She'll ace it. She'll smash it. I know that because she's just like her father and she's just like her grandfather too. And as stubborn as the pair of us. I'm glad about that. And you question my parenting skills. I taught that girl how to dream. I showed her. This is how you earn £1,000 in 2 hours flat. This is how you earn £2,000 in 6 hours. This is how you earn 1,800, 1,900, 1862 I think it was. In 3.5, it's like, poof. I took her to Worcester. She was doing her course. And I do have scything questions to ask her. This principal gave his presentation at the university and he was bollocking on about how they're the people that do the pollen count and da 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 da. There's this one poor lad, and I eternally feel sorry for him. He was actually from Worcester, and his mother was insisting he go to Worcester University and stay at home with her. So there's that, and this professor, this emirate professor, obviously, he's the dean of the university, he's the top gadget. Yeah, and goes, our students earn £2,000 more a year than any other university in our region. Yeah, so it's like, right, in our region, it's like, right, who could do it then? I stuck my hand up, I go, right, how many universities are there in this region? He goes, 62. And I said, and you're saying £2,000? He's going, yeah. I'm going, well, actually, I said, that's less than £50 a week. What the type fucking set bollocks is that if you set people such low standards? Oh, you can earn an extra £2,000 in an entire year. And a dean of a university was saying that. I'm just thinking, you stupid bastard. You're actually trying to make that a unique selling point. You earn about £40 more a week. Yeah, if you come, yeah, 40 quid. Right, take that. Right, let's break this down. Yeah, okay. So basic income tax is down at about nearly 12, isn't it? Right, so 12 to 20. Yeah, and it's just say 20, you go 2022. Yeah, if you get the average wage of 26, 27, but then you've got to discount the top 5%, which artificially inflate that. Yeah. Average wage statistic, because average wage statistics are a load of bollocks. They don't reflect actually what's going on. So I raise these points, yeah, and he actually, right, I was making such cogent points to the idiot, yeah, that he actually closed down his presentation early. It's like I ruined him in front of a hall full of people, right? And as I was going out, yeah, one of the students come out and go and turn around and he says £2,000 is a lot of money, yeah. I said, well, I said, if you actually think that, I said, you shouldn't be going to university, then should you? Truth. Fucking truth. And then when we were going around the campus, right, there was this mother monitoring her son. Yeah, and her son was only trying to say to her that if I'm going to go to university, I'd really like to stay on camp rather than stay at home with you. And she was dead set that he was only going to go to that university. And you could see that she was unwilling to let him go. And that she was demanding, as like Louisa, I will say her name, yeah, if that's her fucking name, I named her. He goes, oh, I feel sorry for that one. I go, yeah, I know. You know? And then Ashley decides he wants to go after her. Big mistake, motherfucker. Big fucking mistake. What makes you think, Waldron, that it's ever right to post a picture of anybody else's child? What makes you think that you have the unalienable right to abuse other people's children? Why do you think it's acceptable to impersonate police officers? Why do you think it, do you really actually think it's acceptable to make a bullshit complaint against me about supposed child sexual abuse images on my phone, and then do you think it's a feasible idea to then go and withdraw those allegations? Shaz, I'll get back to you in a moment, darling. I'll give you a call just after this, alright, darling? I just want to make sure that you're alright too. Right, sweetie? I mean, Waldron's a grandfather. I do know that much about him. Yeah? But when in the name of sanity, would I ever think it's a good idea to go either after his family or his children? When? See, this is how I get told by this account called Sanchez Nonce. That's probably Mulhern Yeah, let's get rid of Mulhern. Okay. Or it might be Pickford, it might be Elkins. It might, you know, I mean, it is one of those lot. But there they are defending their actions. You even had Laura Cooper yesterday threatening to out Joanne Mossop's kids all over the internet because somebody else sent me her son's profile just as a warning that I might get trolled from this direction. That's all it was, and I publicly declared it, and I publicly declared that isn't the way to do things. Didn't I? I think I did. I think I told that person off, and the profile that reported it has been forwarded to the police, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because I don't agree with people doing that either, Laura. Okay? So that's one thing that we are in alignment with. But why have you been supporting others that have been doing it to other people? That's my major question. Anybody that attacks your son, I agree, is disgusting. Anybody that I find attacking her son will be dealt with by me too. Not only Laura, but I'll deal with that too. It's nothing to do with him. Alright, leave him out of it. So don't think you're alone on this one, Laura. Your son don't deserve this, right? That's all I've got to say on that matter. Alright? I want you to be assured that I ain't going to get up to any of the shenanigans that the people that you're running with have got up to, alright? I want you to be fucking assured of that. You're not the worst of them either, Laura. I can't abide the fact that you were there when they were doing this to other people's children, but that's something that you're going to answer to, right? To either the police or to God, yeah? When you eventually shed this mortal coil, you're going to have to explain your actions, you know? And if you are a Christian, I don't think St. Peter's going to be too fucking impressed with you, sweetie. I really don't. But to imagine I'd ever start on your child or your children, no, 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 no. They started on mine, and to even debase me into thinking that I'd even do something as low as that is absolutely insulting. I'd never start on your 18-year-old son, no more than I'd start on your 8-year-old son. I'm pretty upset with the fact that, you know, Peter Greenall's 4 year, you know, when Peter Greenall's son was 4 years of age, yeah, that people that you're aligned with have mocked that child's rape. And then you maintain that you're a paedophile hunter. It's like, sorry, how can you be? How can you be part of a crew that exposes other people's children on the internet like this? Because I think these are all cogent questions. I really think these need to be answered in full. And like I said, and like I maintain, anybody that's exposed your child on Facebook needs to be dealt with. Yeah? Because God Christ, your children's safety is as important to you as it is to me. But I think you fail to understand this only because you have been part of these chat groups. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to state this. You've never mocked up a picture of a child. You've criticised others for doing so. You have. You've actually turned around and you've said, stop talking about kids like that. I am defending you in what you have actually done within there. Yeah? You've begged them to stop going on about other people's kids. You have. But it's gone unheeded. But you still decided to remain a part of it. And that's where your guilt lies. If my child was exposed on that disgusting chat like yours was, I would have called the police no matter what. And my question to you, madam, is why did you not do that? I think it's a feasible and cogent question. I seriously do. It's not rocket science, is it? Is it? I'm not asking you to work out, yeah, what the last digit of infinity as a number actually is. Yeah, there is a mathematical equation that actually explains that, and it's 7. It actually ends in 7. Yeah. But as far as numerology goes, it ends with 7. Because it's like, you may as well stop. And and that number's actually called a Graham. That number's actually called Graham. Graham. The quantity of a Graham. Okay? Okay? Facts 2. We live within infinity but without infinity ourselves. And it's our actions here. What we do in life and the way that we behave models us as examples to the next generation. I don't really think it's conducive that you behave like that. threatening to come to my door and Joanne's and threatening to plaster her kids all over the internet for something that she actually hasn't done. And to call her this and that and to make outrageous allegations against her, untrue allegations, so to speak. I mean, and when we're talking about the realm of untrue allegations, let me tell you, right, I've had my house raided because they've made up, right, a fucking cock and bull story that I've got child sexual abusive images on my mobile because I was about to expose Torture Chamber 2. So that was the reason for your spring defence. And I'm harrying around the bullseye so often, I'm shooting arrows and they're just fucking missing the heart just by inches. I just need, you know, if I was firing an Enfield, yeah, I'd probably have to raise that aim by what, on a 500 yard range, about a millimetre, to group 5 targets into the heart of it. 5 individual reload rounds. Do that. 5 rounds in an old 10 pence piece. Enfield 303. Kick like a mule. 500 yard range as a teenager. It's all about the breathing, you see. The most important thing about a sniper is his breathing. You release your shot on the exhale. And you caress the trigger and you fire. And you're completely relaxed. That kick, that aim, that sight, that vision, boom. You hit it again, and again, and again, and again. An old 10 pence piece, 5 rounds, 500 yards, 303. That's impressive. I was just off bullseye though. That's an admission. I wasn't completely off bullseye. I was on the ring outside. I was just outside it. I didn't hit the bull. But 500 yards, you know, being what, an inch out. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. I think it was my 5th round, got so close to clipping, yeah. It's like, you cunt. Could have picked up more points there, but hey, never mind, never mind. No, there is no use crying over spent bullets, you know, no use at all. Bisley 100 though, but yeah, there I am. You know, when I was a sea cadet, you know, it's sort of like you do this gun drill where you're pissing around with twirling it like a majorette. Yeah? It just did, it's like, no, right? If you're going to put a gun in my hands, right, you at least give me, you know, have the fucking courtesy to let me fire it. The first one I ever shot was, the first gun I ever shot was at 9, and that was a double barrel shotgun, and my God. My granddad was stood behind me. Yeah, but fucking hell. Because he was stood behind me and I got blown back and it's like, boom, yeah? And he just started giggling, it's alright, you know what I mean? It's alright. It did, it blew me backwards, that shotgun. But I do like firing live rounds, I do. You know, I do love target ranges, and I do. Well, I mean, I suppose I like bowling, cricket, yeah, because your deliveries just trying to fox up batsmen, playing him into a mistake. And then you've got shooting where he's like, you know, that's all about accuracy, and decoying's all about accuracy. And everything should be about accuracy. You know, if I've accused somebody of being unalive and they haven't been, it's like, oh, hang on, no, that was somebody else. Because I've popped up and said it. It's like, actually, I made a mistake there. But please don't worry, Laura, I'm not going to start on you, son. Alright? Please don't worry. I'm after you. And the associations that you keep. That's all. Your son is of absolute no interest to me. You know? I want him to carry on, have a happy life and fucking be at peace, like, you know, not be dragged into this bullshit, if I'm honest. And literally don't think I'm being pedophilic by saying, oh yeah, he's a good looking lad. Right? Please don't think that. Yeah? I'm actually trying to be nice to the man. You know? Yeah, because even blokes go, yeah, alright, yeah, you're a good looking bloke, you know, no wonder you get the birds. Of course we do. Yeah? So I don't think that was just sort of like, yeah, you got a good looking son now, like, you know what I mean? And if you can't take that as a compliment, yeah, literally, right, I swear to God, all I got was an inbox, yeah, with this picture on there. I thought, right, that's your son, is it? It's like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, quite a good looking lad, isn't he? And that's all I thought. That's literally is just a passing thought. Yeah? And why ever would you think that I'd try and ruin that young man's life or target him is absolutely obscene. It's just something that isn't in my makeup, and it's something that I'd never do. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that you suggest that I do something like that, or any of these people that are around me that do something like that. Because I tell you what, if anybody around me does something as disgraceful as attack your son, believe you me, madam, I'm going to be on it like a jack of apes. Or your 8-year-old. So please be assured, the protection of your children is as important to me as the protection of theirs. Alright? Your children ought to be afforded the same protection as Joanne Mossop's and Claire Gagan Lucas's. And Pete's. And Heidi's. And Angie's. And all these other people that you're picking on. You can't say, Cooper, that anything in this broadcast that I've said which has absolutely been unreasonable, is there? There's nothing in here that has been threatening. Yeah? I want you to examine your behaviour. Have I called the social services on you? Of course I haven't. Do I think you need to be investigated? Yeah, perhaps I do. Perhaps I do. Considering the behaviour that you've been supporting, yeah. Do I think that you ought to have your kids taken away from you? That isn't up to me. But if you examine your behaviour and what you've been saying and what you've been doing, don't you think that you ought to calm down a bit and think about your kids a little bit more, rather than attack us or threaten to expose anybody else's children? Have I got anything against your kids? No, I don't. No. No. All I wish for them is happy, healthy, long lives. And I want you to know that. Although I do believe that your behaviour around them isn't principally good, and you ought to really examine that. Is that a fair statement? Is that a fair statement? Perhaps, maybe, Laura, you ought to disassociate yourself with people that talk about raping children. That would, honestly, that would go a long way, Laura. It really would. Or even to disengage with groups that target other people's kids. Perhaps that might be, for you, madam, a step forward. Far from it. For me, having the temerity to tell you that. Please don't think I'm cheeky. But actually, I think I'm stating the damned obvious. It isn't only that though. Because it can never only be only that, can it? Can it, baby? So we're going to have some steak in the garden in a minute after we've done this live. Put some music out there. Baby, as he can sit outside and play in the garden, we have a play fight as well, can't we? Yeah? When you can accidentally injure me. And bruise me all to fuck, innit? Mm? Honestly, you're my best combat partner, you are. There's nobody that can hurt me like you can. There isn't. And you're only fucking about. That's because you're an effervescent git, isn't it? Effervescent git. You know, aren't you, baby? We like play fighting with Daddy, don't we? But they do get a bit serious, and I've got to get you to stop after a while because, you know, there gets to the point where you're gonna seriously bite me, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So I've got to calm you down at a certain point, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. When your bite gets a little bit too hard and it's about to fucking break my arm. Yeah. That's when we got to stop play fighting, isn't it? And trust me, you can break my arm, isn't it? You can't really play with Nikita too long without expecting some sort of fucking injury. Is it? Hey, you powerful little shit. He doesn't have a clue how much he hurts you. He's just fucking about. But then he gets more ramped up, and as soon as he gets more ramped up, it's like, that's when he really starts to hurt, and it's like, nah. You know, if I ramp you up into any other different gauge, you're about to rip the fuck out of me, like, you know, you're not gonna care. Are you? Well, you will when blood's pouring out of me. I've got to go to hospital. You go, oh, sorry, Daddy, I didn't mean to sort of, like, you know, savage you like that, but, Like I said, not ever as if I'd ever use him as a defence for this property, would I? if you are so stupid to come out and see me and do what you're threatening to do, yeah, I will have my keys on me, and for God's sakes, do not go into my flat. Even if you do overwhelm me, which you won't, yeah, so even if you do not enter that flat. She'll shred you into 60 shades of claret. That's what he would dissect you if you ever, you know what I mean? This is his territory. He don't know you. You've overpowered me. I'm outside, yeah? He knows I'm in trouble. You decide to get my keys off me, burst in, you're fucked. All of you. So no matter, you know, even if I win, even if I lose, I win. Yeah, those Adobe bastards will probably try to do that. It's like, nah, right, okay, then you've got Nikita, yeah, defending his masters, sort of out flat on the floor outside. It's like, no. So even throughout that, you know, unlikely situation, because I won't be the one that's been sat on my arse or put spark out, I'm telling you that much. Some of you will need traction, some of you will need reconstructive surgery, some of you will need life-saving surgery, and some of you will need to attain a different attitude. Like I said, I'm begging you not to come to my door. I really am. I don't want to do this to you. I really fucking don't want to do this to you. But I will. I will. There's no fucking way on God's green earth that you lot of perverts are gonna fucking post a picture of me and my daughter on a graduation day. Okay, it isn't a sexualised picture, but what gives you the right? Would I do that to you? No. Would I ever do that to you? No. No. Am I going to start picking on your kid, Laura? Definitely not. No. No, 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 no. Why subscribe to people that want to pick on my daughter then, Laura, eh? Why, in fact, do you support them posting pictures up of my daughter and me as a kid in that torture chamber? And why are you supporting every single thing that they're doing? Yeah, that involves other people's children and grandchildren. Yeah, and then you're then you feign such a disgusting gait when somebody says that, well, actually, no, she might be grooming him to fucking attack you. Yeah, be careful of this profile. Yeah, it's her son. You know what I mean? It's like pretty much, it's like, right, okie doke, then that's a red flag, don't respond. That's what I got from it. Yeah, because you know what? I'm sort of glad that they told me that, because if he had inboxed me or started trolling me, there's no way on God's green earth that I'd start having a pop at an 18-year-old kid. Even if he was Cooper's son. And why the fuck would I want to do that? What's he ever done to me? What have I, you know, I mean, what the fuck is that lad ever done to me? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I wouldn't. That's it. The be all and end all. I would not do that. So even if she isn't making machinations, oh, Sanchez is gonna troll you now and all this lot, mate, trust me, I ain't. I actually feel quite sorry for you. I actually feel sorry that your mother has got involved in such a disgusting chat and that you are now witness to your mother's crimes, basically. And that isn't posting other people's children, yeah? Or doing anything like that. Yeah, she's never done anything like that. She's never talked about child rape or anything like that, yeah? She's actually told people off, yeah? For talking about those things, yeah? And that's admirable of her to go out and say those things in that torture chamber, actually speak out against Wesley Mulhern talking about raping people's children. Yeah? If that's one trait that I could admire in your mother, at least she fucking turned around and told them to fucking stop it. But that doesn't mean she wasn't compliant. And that's a different matter altogether. Yeah, because anybody that's compliant in that type of behaviour is supporting it and aiding and abetting it. Alright? So unless she was willing to report that to the police, because it is basically the abuse of children, then unfortunately, Sunshine, she's guilty of, yeah, harbouring those others that post these sick things about other people's children. Do you understand? And I don't want you to think that I'm ever coming after you, I'm ever going to attack you, or I'm ever going to say anything bad about you, Sunshine. Alright? It ain't my game. This is Dolores Cooper's son. I ain't going to attack you, dude. I promise. I ain't gonna go to the sick levels that these people have done either by getting your face and yeah, and doing the things that these other people have been doing that. Okay. I really promise you, yeah, that I'm not that type of individual. But unfortunately, your mother has been engaging with individuals that have precisely done what I promised not to do to you. And I don't have to promise not to do, because it would never be within my thought processes. But this Wesley Mulhern and this Wayne Ritchie have been making sick photographs of other people's kids and grandkids, mate. You're an 18-year-old and I'm going to talk to you now. Yeah, and I really do believe that somebody ought to be brought to account to it, and one of those people include your mother. And I have to apologise that you know, to even give you this news, but actually what's been going on is so severe, and although your mum hasn't been the main proponent as far as in, say, posting people's kids' pictures up, she's certainly been supportive of the people that have, and she's backed them to the hilt. And like I said, it ain't you that, yeah, it's your mum. they're being compliant with this type of shit. And hopefully once she's learnt this lesson, she'll sit you down and give you a lesson in decency, not saying that she hasn't. And in many ways, I imagine the woman to be decent in a lot of ways, alright? I don't think her entirely evil, but I think her misguided. And to those ends, I made decent. You know, these things have to stand true. And unless somebody speaks out about things, even if it is against a massive brick wall, then you've got to say them. Your mother enjoys the protection of so many followers thinking that she's doing good. I'm dreadfully sorry, Sam. I've got to smash that myth to pieces.